12th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Notice to the public, the Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You are requested to approach the podium and use the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chair to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and/or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate, and a roll call vote will follow. Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
If you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
And I'll second that.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes. The consent agenda. Item 5A, approved claims as audited. Item 5B, file manure management plans. One from Eric Finisher Farms, number 65770 at 1144 120th Street, St. Anthony, signed with changes. Prestige Farms LLC, number 67105 at 1441 120th Street, Clemens, signed with no changes. And Kix Finisher, number 65705 at 24035 County Road D65, New Providence, signed with no changes. Personnel changes, a new hire in the treasurer's office, Meadow Knutson, Universal Clerk Treasurer's Office at $19.77 per hour to start on or after March 17, 2025. Seasonal worker for conservation, approve rehire of Greg Morris, seasonal conservation aide, $14 per hour to start on or after April 1st, 2025 and ending on September 12th, 2025. Item 5D, reappointment of the Green Mountain Lighting District trustees, Jaylene, I assume that's how you say it, Jaylene Primus, term date January 1, 2023 through December 31, 2025. So she's finished her term?
It's a continuation.
It's
These
a
are all
continuation.
continuations.
Okay, so just continuing through the end of this year.
Yes, and
Okay.
then they may continue again. But
Okay.
Yes.
Laniel Nelson, term date January 1, 2024 through December 31, 2026. John Warden, term date January 1, 2023 through December 31, 2025. And that is the end of the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve today's consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any comments or discussion on the? If not, we will have roll call vote, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Hibbs,
Yes. Item number 7, consideration of Aware Health for musculoskeletal management services.
James, do we have folks then on? Oh, there's Skip.
Okay.
And
morning.
Lacey. And Jamie.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you again.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. Skip, would you like to start us off?
I would, yes, and good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for your valuable time today. And just a quick little background, you should have been provided information regarding the presentation for today's discussion regarding Aware Health. You may recall that back in a frigid day in January, we met with the Board of Supervisors as well as the benefits team regarding the Aware Health and what they're doing out there in the marketplace. And so as I go in a little bit of the background, as you all know, the Board of Supervisors has been aggressive at looking at what their best options are. Just a little history lesson. years ago, you were fully insured. You went to the self-funded world with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then later you moved to Health Partners, which at the time was relatively new to the marketplace, and it has been quite fortuitous for your organization. Aligning with those values, you also implemented a embedded wellness program, which has really helped drive bringing down the trend costs for your health plan. And the embedded health, of course, provides members the opportunity to get a checkup or not receive a checkup. It's their choice. We want to make sure that we provide choices to employees, just like Aware Health is going to be a decision that members make for themselves. That being said, on the embedded wellness program, employees were provided the $500 deductible option, or alternatively a $1,250 deductible option by not adhering to the plan, or sorry, $2,000 deductible. And we've had 99 to 100% participation each and every year. And it was met with some concerns at the very beginning when we implemented this program, but we had numerous employees come back to us and say, I'm very happy that we had this program in place, because there was situations where health issues were discovered along the way, and treatment was provided really on a proactive basis. And again, those are the things that we want to identify. We're all about preventative care. As we get into some of the statistics this morning regarding Aware Health and what they are doing, I think we can all agree that access to health care is under a little stress in our country, and we have less and less doctors available to treat us, whether it's primary care or specialists. And so we're just looking at a new, innovative way of providing care as people need that care related to musculoskeletal. So Aware Health is really unique in the marketplace. They are a PT organization. We have connectivity with Health Partners. In fact, Health Partners was enamored by what they are doing that is so revolutionary that they're going to be working with them on an ongoing basis and offering them as an option for other self-funded clients. So I don't want to take all the steam out of the wagon, so to speak, for the folks that are on the call from Aware Health, and they're going to talk about their program. But I want to just give you a little background. So this is kind of that evolutionary step, the next step in providing care as people need that. And again, it's on a voluntary basis. And so it'd be a virtual option for them. They will be they are licensed physicians. They are going to assign a provider to a member. And we actually did a test program for one of the members of the county. And I think that there might be some input on that and how that's worked out for that individual on this call this morning. So they're coming to you by saying our program is contingent. If we don't save you money, you don't pay anything. That's really unique in this space. My studies and my research have discovered that 60% of musculoskeletal surgeries are avoidable, and just getting people in a mobile position is a big thing because they're more productive at work, obviously. That's important to you, but it's also quality of life. And so having this accessibility and having the connectivity with Health Partners is imperative. So Health Partners requires 7 PT visits before an MRI or a CT scan to occur for musculoskeletal situation. And so they will be tracked through Health Partners if people engage with Aware Health. So that's really important for us to make sure that we're going to get member level details so that we can make sure that, hey, if we need to reach out to somebody, and Aware Health is going to actually be on site during the enrollment meetings. They're even going to set up a room if that's an option for the county to do some on-site consultation for individuals so they can get them engaged on this. One of my all-time favorite parts of this program is it's $0. So people remember zero. They don't always remember their deductibles, as you can tell at the beginning of my discussion. But the point being is we've invented our own language in the insurance business, and immediately there's a barrier for people to understand what they're going to pay. So this is a $0 cost to the member when they engage. And again, I'll say it for the third and last time, having the connectivity to Health Partners and your TPA is really crucial for us to make sure that we can collaborate and be very proactive with individuals. So individuals can initiate the phone calls, contact. We have done the psychodemographic review of your plan. Some folks don't like cell phones, and Some people like the old-fashioned telephones. We can do email campaigns, mail campaigns. We want to lean into where people are at in their health as well as what the comfort of communication is. So just a little bit of background on that, so I'll stop there because I do a lot actually very quickly. If there's any general questions that you have before we lead into the actual presentation of what Aware Health is and why we're here today, let's go ahead and get those dealt with here. Thank you.
I think we're ready for Jamie.
Okay, how long do I have?
Can you do it in 5 minutes?
Sure. I just want to make sure I'm focusing on the right areas of the presentation. I think what would be most helpful for this group maybe is the member experience, so you can see what people would actually go through, and then also the anticipated results of the program. If you'd like to see something else, please let me know, but that's kind of where I'll start. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we offer a virtual orthopedic option where when somebody starts to experience pain, which I don't know about you all, but sometimes I wake up with low back pain, or I sleep on my pillow the wrong way and all of a sudden my neck hurts. What we don't want is for people to go down a pathway that is more aggressive than what they need to. It's hard to see a physical therapist sometimes. Oftentimes it's not even top of mind for people to see a physical therapist, and so we end up seeing aggressive care when really we want to see non-surgical specialists first. So we make that non-surgical specialty available to your members for free. We have same-day care or next-day care. It's unlimited for the members. It's accessible. So in the case where we worked with one of the members of Marshall County, he was doing it from his home and any time of day that's convenient for him, and it's available. So you can see here, this is a very simple user interface where you just basically enter your name. We don't even require passwords. We do that like code to your phone, so it's very easy for members. They're able to select the availability. In the background, this is not something that the member sees, but it is core to our platform. For those of you who remember, Aware Health was founded by the world's top-cited researcher on direct access musculoskeletal. So our founder is an expert in this space and very passionate about what she does. One of the things that she's passionate about is taking all of the diagnostic rules and studies that exist out there and live in the brains of physical therapists and putting it into a system that allows us to diagnose what's going on appropriately. And what we're able to do is rule out things like serious causes of pain, like cancer-causing back pain, or fractures, or blood clots. If there's a suspected blood clot or any of those things I mentioned, we would refer them into the plan. So this is a clinical approach that most musculoskeletal providers are not doing. And so these are just diagnostic rules that support our physical therapists. I do want to point out that our physical therapists are actually orthopedic clinical specialists. So they have a degree or a license above what a doctor of physical therapy has. Only 5% of providers in the United States have that. So we definitely hire the best of the best. This is an example of a session. So you'd log onto a Zoom meeting just like this. You'd talk to your provider. I will say even people who aren't super tech savvy can figure this out. Sometimes the first session is education on how to do this, but it's well worth the time because then the next session goes really fast. But it's very educationally focused. We pull up the 3D model of what's going on in that member's body specifically. They can recover with confidence, and treatment is on demand, right? So after the fact, after you meet with somebody, you actually get your treatment plan sent directly to your cell phone. There's exercise videos, and you can do it at your own time. And so we're still human forward, but then we have the convenience of sending that treatment plan on demand. I'm gonna go back to the ROI model, but before I do that, does anybody have any questions on the member experience?
Nope, I think you're good to go.
Okay, these are just some of the conditions we can treat. So prevention, chronic pain, acute pain. I want to point out that chronic pain can be hard because it's very much based on the nervous system. You can be in pain without any physical stimuli, and so it takes a really skilled provider, and our providers are definitely experts at treating chronic pain. And then this is just an example of what we expect to save you. So we expect to save about $127,000 in MSK claims costs. Your current musculoskeletal PMPM is $78, which is above average. And so it's definitely worth doing something about. We believe we can bring that down to about $40. Our $12 per member per month fee still saves you about $27 PMPM. So this is sort of the art of the possible, right, and what we could save you. And then we do have a fiduciary guarantee where basically if we don't cover at least the cost of our program, so for Marshall County it's just below $50,000 annually, if we don't save you at least that cost, as measured by how many member or surgeries, imaging, and PT visits get avoided, then we will refund you the difference. So let's say that we only save you $40,000, we're on the hook for paying you back $10,000. So I think those are the highlights of what I wanted to cover. Any questions that I can answer?
I don't think so. Do you guys have?
I think that very last piece of that being reimbursed, what we don't save, that was my question. So you did it all, Jamie. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Well, Skip really teed me up, so.
Well, and we had a pretty lengthy discussion when you were here in January, so we appreciate the overview and the refresher of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will share that the guinea pig was my husband. I did get permission. When we went on vacation, he was able to run down steps, no pain on his knees. So it really works. I do think that him and Dr. Heidi are talking more than him and I are, but that's a different conversation. They were just met last night again, and they will not meet again till May. So that gives you kind of how the follow-up works. So he had a very good experience with it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, and he kept going, how do we pay for this? I go, you're the guinea pig, sorry.
I think it's also good, that's a great reminder, and that we also have the opportunity to engage with employees for 2 months for no cost to the county. So we're going to launch really at the benefits meetings and say, this is on, you will not be charged the fee for it, so that we can start being very proactive. So if we have some other guinea pigs, as you put it, that's fine. And I think that's, again, putting their best foot forward with this program.
I would love to be the next guinea pig. Because I'll give you a run for your money.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Any other questions or comments for the group? Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the contract.
And I will share that Jordan did go through the contract. We did make some changes to the contract that they approved, so that was that.
Thank you.
I'll move that we accept the contract for Aware Health for musculoskeletal management services.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Authorized chair to sign.
Yes. And that would be effective beginning July 1st. Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Heil,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Skip and Jamie. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lacey, for being on.
Yes.
Great to see everybody. We're gonna get rolling here. We
Yeah.
got a lot of fun to have, so, please step on the guinea pig train with us if you would. So thank you, everybody. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
And
Yeah.
Nan, I'm assuming Jeannie got comfortable with the information for this too?
Yes, yeah, she's not feeling well today, so
Oh,
she's home. But
okay.
yes, very comfortable with it.
Okay, great.
So we'll have her reach out to you to get signed up.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to item number 8. County and MHDS Region Data Release Form, Mental Health, what's the D? Mental Health District Services?
I think so.
Region Data Release Form, discussion and possible action. And I believe this is a request from HHS for information on
Yeah,
people
with
we
all-
serve.
With all the reorganization that's going on, they're hitting all the counties of just looking at our data. We've had Jordan Gaffney, our attorney, review this request. The data that they're requesting from us isn't anything that's,
Yeah.
it's good information. It's not anything that we can't release, falls under public information. So I think it's just they're collecting data on how to
Reorganize.
reorganize and best
Yeah.
serve the people. So
That's how I read it.
so I am comfortable with the release of this. And Nan, thanks for looking into this
Yes,
as
and
well.
Lisa
Appreciate that.
Soder sent it up her as well, so we've, this is like a 2-month thing we've
Yep.
been looking into.
Well, and a lot of other counties were kind of scrambling because the way that the request came in was
It was
It was a
odd.
little odd, and counties were concerned, like, are we releasing information we shouldn't be?
Mm-hmm.
But we've had attorneys look at it, and other counties are all comfortable with this, and as are we. So
Yes, yes, it took us a little while, but we're there.
Yeah. All right, so I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve of the data release form and authorize the chair to sign.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other comments or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes?
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Okay. Item number 9, discussion and possible action, Mid-Iowa Antique Power Association windmill. I know Nan has investigated this, so you're back.
William Rhodes, 3 Main Street, Haverhill, representing Mid-Iowa Antique Power Association. 2 weeks ago, we came up and told you what our proposal was, to put the windmill up, and the club, our association, will pay for the windmill. We just need your okay to put it back up where it was. And the issue was who would insure that, because the cost was $9,300.
And I did get information, the insurance would be $40. So we've got that, and I'm just supposed to let them know when it needs to be insured, so when it gets put up.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully next week.
Well, we got to approve this first.
So if you, yeah, I just
So
need to
once
know.
we approve, you're good to go then?
Okay.
Yes.
You're ready
Yeah,
to,
Next week. Wow.
it's already purchased. We kind of got ahead of things over the winter, and then it was brought to my attention that we should talk to the supervisors before we go ahead and put it up, because since it's on leased property. But it'll be right, the one building closest to the road right there, there's a concrete slab with a pump on it to the right of the building. It'll be put right back over that. There was one there, and it went down in 2011 in one of the windstorms.
so next week after the next windstorm that's coming this Friday?
Oh, we're getting another one this
I
Friday?
think so.
Could.
I better tell them not to put it up
Yeah,
yet.
better wait till next week then, yeah. Okay. Any other questions or comments,
I think that
discussion?
was included on with the estimate. Yeah, good.
It was, yeah,
Good.
yeah.
No, thanks for all your work and
Thank
on
you.
this, and we're excited to see that go up.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. I would entertain a motion to approve the replacement of the windmill.
I move that we replace the windmill on the leased Mid-Iowa Antique Power Association grounds.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Hibbs,
Yes?
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Item number 10, approve memorandum of understanding with Jasper County relating to shared cost of construction on bridge referred to as County 5, CO5?
Just, yes, their numbering is C05.
Oh, 05, okay,
We call it N19, N18, sorry.
okay.
This is just a memorandum of understanding for sharing the cost of replacement of this bridge. It's on the county line, and it's on a section of road that's maintained by Jasper County. And the county line bridges are kind of strange because the bridges on our South County line and our East County line are actually owned and operated or attributed to the neighboring county. We get the ones on our west line and our north line. So you can see this is an old pony truss, and so it's fairly narrow. I think it's 18 feet wide, but it's lived a good long life, and they're gonna replace it with their crew. The new bridge is gonna be 80 feet long and 24 foot 6-inch wide, so to be a geometric improvement and a structural improvement.
When would they start, Paul?
I think they're gonna do that this summer. It's,
And what side of 14 is this on?
this would be west of 14.
West of
It's closer
14.
to Hart, I think.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see where you're at.
There you can see Melbourne up
Uh-huh.
straight north of it, and then so it's down on that just east of Hart of 2 miles.
Okay.
And our share would be $125,000. And this, I will program this in the accomplishment year of our upcoming program, so it'll be right in the front year. And this construction, of course, will be fully lost eligible, so.
Okay. Any other questions for Paul? I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with Jasper County, Iowa relating to the shared cost of construction on bridge referred to as C05.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
So, sorry, can you authorize the chair to sign as well?
I'll amend that to my motion
It only
to
needs
authorize the chair
only
to
needs the
sign.
chair's signature and mine, or
Yeah.
Dan.
Okay.
Chair
Okay.
to sign.
Liz,
Yes?
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes,
Okay, item number 11, award of contract number 64-C064-146 to Iowa Bridge and Culvert LLC of Washington, Iowa, in the amount of $570,547.64.
This is another county line project, and it is, we in the right mile, I think it's the south mile there, south of 160th. That looks like right there, yeah. So you can see the description kind of looks the same for both of them because it is the same stream. It just crosses the county line and then it goes back to Tama County. So this is what we consider bridge H1 and H2. And we're replacing them both with single barrel cast in place box culverts, concrete box culverts. And this contract that we're approving is for the whole amount. And then this is funded with BROS money, so this project will be 100% reimbursed from our HBP funds. And when I do the reimbursement, half of it will come from Marshall County's HBP funds and half of it will come from Tama County's HBP funds, just to kind of clean up the accounting of it so I don't have to invoice Tama and they do reimbursement, and it just makes it cleaner.
Okay,
And so this will have electronic signature, is what they're doing with the DOT now.
yeah,
And so the process will be after you make the award, I will get on Doc Express, transfer it to awarded. That tells the contractor to go ahead and sign it and put their bond up. And once I see the bond and the contractor signed, then I mark it as received, and then we'll ask you to go ahead and take care of the approval of signing the contract and the performance bond.
okay. Okay,
Then the DOT does their little check marks and stuff on it, and it's just kind of a
Yeah.
6-step process.
yeah. Any other questions for Paul?
No.
We did receive 4 bids, with the highest of the 4 being over $200,000 more than this
Really?
bid. So.
Than this bid. And work on this summer?
Yes, in fact, the late start date, I think, is April 1st.
Okay,
Now, there's 140 working days, and that's more than enough for them to do this, so I can't talk to the contractor until we get this dealt with, but I hope we're like high on their dance card so we can get this done quick.
okay. Is there a motion?
I'll move that we grant the award of contract ID 64-C064-146 to Iowa Bridge and Culvert, LC of Washington, Iowa, in the amount of $570,547.64 for project BROS CO64145 8J64 RCB culvert replacement, single box on Abbott Avenue over Sugar Creek, and project BROS C064146 8J64 RCB culvert replacement, single box on Abbott Avenue over Sugar Creek, and authorize the chair to sign the contract and bond when available.
I will second that motion.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Yep, thanks, Paul.
On to item number 12, set public hearing for the proposed property tax levy for Marshall County. And this just sets the public hearing to discuss that.
Yes.
I'll make that motion to set March 24, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the Marshall County Courthouse, Board of Supervisors meeting room in here, first floor, 1 East Main Street, Marshall, Iowa's time and place to conduct the Marshall County proposed property tax levy public hearing and authorize the Marshall County Auditor and Recorder to publish notice of public hearing.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes.
We do not know when the letters are going out yet. We haven't got that notice yet that they've been mailed, but they should be going out sometime yet this week, so
Okay.
people will get that notice for all property owners in Marshall County, and Maria's getting it on the website and our Facebook. Yeah, we'll go out, will be put up tomorrow.
Okay. Item number, any other comments or discussion on that? Public hearing on March 24th. Item number 13, set public hearing on proposed 2024-2025 Marshall County budget amendment for March 26th at 9 a.m.
I move that we set March 26, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the Marshall County Courthouse, Board of Supervisors meeting room, first floor, 1 East Main Street, Marshalltown, Iowa, as the time and place to conduct the proposed 2024-2025 Marshall County budget amendment public hearing, and authorize the Marshall County Auditor and Recorder to publish notice of public hearing.
I'll second that.
Okay. Would you like comment, Nan?
That is, same way we'll be doing our budget amendment that we've walked through carefully over all of these many meetings with all the department heads, so that will be ready to talk. We get to do that at our regular meeting then on the 26th.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes. Item number 14, set public hearing on proposed 2024-2025 Marshall County decrease in appropriations.
I'll make the motion to set March 26, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the Marshall County Courthouse, Board of Supervisors meeting room, first floor, 1 East Main Street, Marshalltown, Iowa, as the time and place to conduct the proposed 2024-25 Marshall County decrease in appropriations, public hearing, and authorize the Marshall County Auditor and Recorder to publish the notice of public hearing.
I'll second that.
Okay. Discussion?
On the, I don't know why, but decrease in appropriations always has its own line, so this is something we have to spell out separately.
All
Just
righty.
one of the rules.
Okay, March
you.
26th at 9 a.m. Roll call vote, please.
Kyle,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes?
Hibbs,
Yes. Item number 15, Fairman Avenue paving project. Paul.
Just wanted to discuss Fairman Avenue just south of Highway 30 with you as far as its potential for programming or what we would like to do there. It's just adjacent to a subdivision called the Pines that, if we can zoom in on that a little bit, that might help. it's something that was kind of on my radar as a potential for improving a rock road because of our maintenance with it. It's got some pretty good traffic. You can see that the Pines subdivision there, from that driveway that comes out to their main entrance, because those are private roads there on Evergreen and Evergreen Circle and Evergreen Place. But where that comes out to Pines, there's like 16 houses inside of there that all access Fairmont. So, and then another 8, 9 houses to the south of there that are right within that first half mile. And so the section between Evergreen Place and Highway 30 gets easily over 300 vehicles a day. I have not done a count on it, but we usually assume that any occupied dwelling creates 12 vehicles per day. And and it's kind of it's a maintenance problem for us because that entire half mile usually ends up being dust control. And the dust control spots, when they're long like that, well, any of them, they don't freeze the same as the rest of the road because you're putting chlorides in there. And I know from a conversation I had this morning that it is a potholy mess right now. But it's that time of the year for us too. The options that we would have is from Highway 30 down to Evergreen Place is about 800 feet. And that's a small enough job if we made that improvement that it wouldn't even be above the bid threshold. So we could do that basically with maintenance money and just, fund that fairly easily. To get down to the end of the subdivision, which would take care of the other residents that are not in the Pines, but they're, on the adjacent to the Pines. That would be a much more expensive project and probably be in the realm of, $500,000, something like that. So we'd be, quite a bit more. It definitely would have to be a project that we would have to program. And the issue with doing that half mile is that we would have to come up with a good way to turn snowplow trucks around, because when we do pavements that just end and turn to rock, when we're plowing with trucks, we need to be able to turn the truck around without having, it's another half mile to go down to the next intersection. So we would have to build some type of a turnaround. We've got a couple places where we have to turn trucks around and we use private driveways, and in a bad snow event, it's just like every other year, we'll get a truck stuck and then that plow's there until somebody comes and gets it, unstuck. And hopefully we didn't do damage to something in the landowner's driveway. So that's something we'd have to plan into this as far as the snow removal goes. And the other problem with snow removal is that piece of Fairmont would just be an island that we would have to go plow snow on, because it doesn't attach to any of our other plow routes. It's just a spot out there where we have to, go out on Highway 30 to plow it. So I just kind of want to know what your feelings are on this. Doing the short stretch gives us the most immediate benefit for lower investment. But I've had contacts from residents that are south of there on Fairmont, and so they would not be incredibly pleased if we decided to just do the 800 feet. And I just, like I say, it's not going to be this year's work. It's something that we have to fund with local money. So it's something we have to make sure we have the ending fund balance, or to have that project, that we can do it. So it may come down to we can afford to do the 800 feet, and we'll decide if we can afford to do. And the other thing that plays into this is I know there's discussions within the Pines on them paving the rest of their internal roads, because right now those are all rock too. And so if they go forward with bringing those roads up to spec, I think their intention would be that they could get the roads onto county system, but I don't know that for a fact. But that would make the project possibly a little cheaper because there'd be more
Because
tons.
they'd be there, yeah.
More tons to put in with it.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything on their timeline or how their progress is going. I spoke with the HOA president, and that was, could be like 6 months ago. But they're trying to get
they're trying, and it's hard to get that many landowners to all agree on, we're gonna invest this money, because it would be a major investment for them to bring it up. And, so I can put it in the program, and we can, just because we program it doesn't mean we're gonna do it. And we can continue to talk with the Pines and see what their plan is as far as the internal improvements.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it would make sense if they're going to do something, it's more incentive for us to do
Yes,
something.
I agree.
You know. But even if you propose doing that short stretch to kind of get things started and then get the other part in a longer-term plan,
Okay.
I mean, that would be my thought. It seems like a pretty highly traveled area.
It is, and the other issue is that just down the road, we know that Marshall Ridge Farm's expanding, and
Yeah,
Thomas Trucking does drive past there when they are hauling haylage and silage,
yeah,
and so there's times of the year where it's,
very busy.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys have other thoughts, but that would
How,
be,
how far to 330 does it take?
How what?
How far from Highway 30 to 330? How
Oh.
far, if you were to, I saw earlier in the presentation, you know, that went down
So-
to,
yeah, it's a ways.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
About 5.5 miles.
Yeah, and it wouldn't really be, I'm not totally familiar with that grade, but it would, unlikely that it would be pavable, where the piece of Fairman that I'm talking about is a pavable grade right now. I mean, it's fairly flat, and it wouldn't require, any earthwork that couldn't be done with a motor grader to prep it. And that helps the cost quite a bit.
I guess that would be my thought.
Okay.
That seems to make sense to me as well with, if we're able to do it locally under the bid threshold for that
Yeah, so
800 feet.
The short stretch like I say, we can just, it's on our radar, and it was on my radar before we were contacted on
Yeah.
it too, so,
And it might incentivize them to
yes.
do something too.
All right.
And then we can
Okay.
build it into that, build it into the plan then.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul.
Just past Evergreen Place, which you.
To see if there's anyone else here that wanted to discuss on it,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Anyone else want to discuss Fairman? Are they here for that? Anyone here for that? Okay, we'll move on to item number 16, public forum. Time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on the agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in public forum. Okay.
Harold Lanning, 1994 Vine Avenue, Marshalltown. Couple of comments I want to make first, and then I have a question. Is the lost tax that was just voted in, and I'm glad it passed. I voted for it. But citing a couple articles here from the TR, and by the way, you do a good job on covering the coverage, and I've been here enough that I know that they're accurate and so forth. But numerous times in here, it says 50% county roads and bridges, 50% property tax. That's great. Another one in here telling about the polls opening. Again, same thing, property tax. Bridges was even on the ballot, there at the bottom. Property taxes, so forth. Great, okay? Brings me to my question is about this nonsense right here. This nonsense right here. Supervisors commit to funding half of courthouse event plaza if lost passes. Commit 50% cost with the city for $475,736.63. Now my question is this, were we lied to? Is it gonna go to bridges and property tax, or is it gonna go to this nonsense? You know, just because the city does stupid, ridiculous, won't use a lot of the words I'd like to describe, the downtown is dead. It's dead. I'm an old farm boy, and I kind of relate it to the horse has died, Why go out and buy a new saddle for him? It's ridiculous. There are millions of dollars in the hole. You know, in the past, the county supervisors have been very prudent with their dollars, spending it where it needs to be spent in the county. Just because the city does stupid, ridiculous things, why would the county officers choose to go down the same rat hole that they're going down? So my question is this: is any of the lost money going to go for this ridiculous plaza out here on Main Street? Or is it going to go where we were told that it was going to go? Also, poll out of the thing, do you approve of the optimistic about the future of downtown? Overwhelmingly, no. People are not. If it's stupid, that's what they go ahead and do. But let's not do that on the county level. So my question is this: is any of the lost tax money going to go to find this type of, well, you know, the old bull stuff?
Well, I
Looking for an answer.
I can answer that. You cannot authorize lost funds to go to that project.
Then why does it say that there, that you're
Well,
going to?
what happened is if you watch that meeting, or it was offered to us, like, you know what, contingent upon loss passing if that's a concern of yours. And so we said, well, I guess if the city's going to offer that to us, sure. I think the project still needed to be done anyway, because if they're working on it, if they were going to do this project anyway, and it's Marshall County's property here, it makes sense that we foot a little bit of the bill of what's touching our part for it to be done, right? And so-
Our only portion of, that we would help fund would be the part that is county property, not the streets, not the sidewalks. It would be the part inside from that towards the courthouse. So it would be on our courthouse grounds.
So where's that money coming from?
Well, it will come over time, and that's yet to be determined. In our discussion was around economic development budget that we have already set aside in the budget.
It'd be general fund money, but it could not possibly be lost because
We can't use it for that.
To get that in writing?
yeah, we can.
One other comment. I'm glad the tax passed, but it's unfortunate that we had to go through the expense of having a special election. If more emphasis had been put on how the lost money was spent and going to be used, instead of maybe campaigning against a fellow county employee, we wouldn't have to spend thousands of dollars for a special election. Thank you.
Okay. Would anyone else like to speak? Okay.
My name's Nicholas Wilson, 2026 Zeller Avenue. First question is, and I don't expect an answer right now, but I've got several questions. When are you going to blacktop our road? And if you use GPS when your travels, you'll find out that from East Main Street, where the stop sign is, and 146, you go north to Garwin Blacktop, that comes up on the GPS, and we have a lot of traffic on that road, a lot of traffic, semis too. And so for that matter, it'd be nice that we'd be put on a list someday to have that road, that stretch of road blacktopped, and it, because it is a major thrust. I, for one thing, struggle. I have lung problems. My wife has lung disease. We can't get outside a lot of times. I mean, the dust is so bad, you can't see the road a lot of times for the dust. I mean, it turns to a powder. It's 2 or 3 inches deep. It's really bad. So just, but nevertheless, it just, I noticed that they have a nice stretch, a 1 mile stretch on East Main Street with 2 houses or 3 houses on it. So there are 9 houses existing, 9 or 10 houses existing between Garwin, Blacktop, and East Main Street now on Zeller Avenue. So, but it is a shortcut through there, and a lot of the county trucks and things like that use that, which brings me to the next thing. I didn't realize that the dump trucks with the snow blades on the front of them push snow on the gravel roads. but we had the pleasure of having one go past my house about 4 to 5 weeks ago when there was just a skiff of snow. And he threw gravel across my berm, which I take care of. I've been taking care of for the last 8 years that we've lived there. It threw gravel up in my yard 5 to 6 feet, and about 4 foot of it was solid gravel. Well, here about 2 weeks ago, an older gentleman driving past my house thought it was a road, and he ran over my mailbox. Okay? So, with that being said, he at least stopped and told me about it, because I wouldn't have known until I saw it, okay? But nevertheless, it looked like the road had been widened, like 4 to 5 foot, okay, with that much gravel. I seen the snowplow go by, and I didn't realize that your dump trucks had, with the snowplows on the front, would plow the gravel roads. I was always used to your maintainers as far as the road graders doing that. But he went by 25, 30 miles an hour. You can imagine how much gravel that he threw up, because there was no snow to speak of. It was just a trace is all it was at that time. But nevertheless, so I got the pleasure of raking out and hired a couple other guys to help me rake out all that gravel off the front berm of my property, because I like to keep it nice, okay? Which brings me to another position. I called the office for the county, and I did speak with a nice lady, Robin is her name. Very nice and very professional, and I don't know who she is. I don't know if she's here or not, but always been professional to speak with, and very caring. And for that being said, I left you 2 messages on your recording machine to give me a call, so I could discuss it. Maybe you could possibly have a gentleman or somebody stop out and give me a help to rake this gravel out of my driveway, because I am disabled, okay? And nevertheless, I never got a return telephone call from you. And I did the same thing for Paul. I left him a couple of messages too, and I didn't get a response from that either. Nevertheless, it just, and I believe my tax dollar is taking care of you people. And I am considered kind of a customer, okay? That's the way I look at it. And I worked for an entity out in Colorado Springs. I worked for the city for 20 years out there. And so I knew who the customer was then too, so nevertheless, it would have been nice to get a telephone call back from you people. And I hope I voted for the right person when I voted here last year for you. So it just, don't prove me wrong, but I want to continue to vote for you, sir. But nevertheless, therefore, I put some markers. I stayed back off the grass line on my property, and at a foot, okay? And I put half a dozen little orange markers down there so if anybody coming down the road, they decide not to run over my mailbox again, it might help a little bit, okay? So, and I don't know if that's the wrong thing to do or the right thing, because that was one of the questions that I had for you gentlemen, okay? I don't know if that's bad, if I shouldn't have done that or I should not have done it, but the grass line is on the edge of the road. I stayed back a foot, okay? And therefore, hopefully I'm not in trouble with that situation or by doing that, but I did it, and it was before I could get the gravel out of the front yard, so they've been there for a couple of weeks. If you need me to remove them, I will. Other than that, I don't know. You tell me. Why did I not get a telephone call back from you?
So did you called me?
Yes, I left you 2 messages.
Okay, I was unaware that I had any voicemail, so I apologize for that. Maybe I'm so new I don't know how to run the voicemail machine yet. Did you call right here in the county offices?
I called the county office, spoke with Robin, I believe that's her name. Very nice lady to speak with. And she says, well, let me connect you with the voicemail for you. And I left 2 voice messages. Are you Robin?
No,
Oh, okay. I don't know who she is, so I just, but
we don't have
And
a
I-
Robin.
it's not a Robin? Well, I could be wrong there. Whoever answers the phone, a very nice lady to speak with. I've had a couple of conversations, very professional. And with that being said, the grader driver that we have now, Donnie, I'm pretty sure that I've got the first name correct on that.
Okay, there's the, yeah.
He started out struggling pretty much, but you know what? We've given him some time and he's doing a real good job. So,
Yeah,
and
good.
he had kind of a tough road to hoe. His predecessor did a great job. The gentleman that retired here a year or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great job. But Donnie's getting with the program. He's getting things figured out. He's doing good. So he's doing real good, so.
Okay, could it be a Lisa you spoke with?
Lisa, yes.
Okay, good,
Yes. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, that's
Lisa.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
but
good.
nevertheless, and I left Paul a couple
Yeah,
messages too.
she remembers speaking with you. Yeah, she remembers speaking with you, so good, good.
Okay.
You left me one,
Yeah.
one message.
Well, wonder who else got another message,
And
because
I-
that was
I-
twice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to apologize because I did not receive it. And normally when they come in, I'll get a little link or something with the voicemail.
Yeah, it sends an email, and
Yeah.
if you get too many emails, they'll end up at the bottom. So you always have to check the bottom of your email.
Well, nevertheless, it just, it was a recording, you spoke, and it,
Wow.
so,
I don't even remember making that greeting.
check it out.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, but anyway, you're, nevertheless, so, but I appreciate, it would have been nice if somebody could have maybe stopped out, because I know that you have a guy, I have breakfast at the cafe in LeGrand quite often, and there's a gentleman that comes in there that works for the county, and he's constantly complaining about having to pick up a deer here, or replace a mailbox here, or whatever the case may be. Would have been nice if I could have got a hand, you know, because I paid a couple other guys to come out to help me get that gravel out of my front yard, okay? Because I keep things looking as nice as possible, okay? And it, so, and I know that you guys go by there quite often, so, because you use Zeller Avenue just as much as everybody else does, so. So just, nevertheless, so, hey, am I doing anything wrong with the markers being there? That's,
We'll let Paul
No,
comment.
but they won't stay there when the snow gets moved because snow removal will plow them right off, you know,
Okay.
at the ground level. So if you want to keep them there, that's cool, but you might want to pull them before next winter.
okay, that's fine. I kept off the grass line, and usually you guys stay in the road, so, just, but, okay,
Okay,
that's all I have.
thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to clarify that I did call Nick back. And I don't know if you have trouble getting return calls, but I've had multiple times with your phone where I call it, it rings 3 times, it sounds like it goes to voicemail. The call continues, but nothing happens.
I'll give you that.
It just,
Yeah,
and,
just,
and I've had that happen more than once with your phone, because this isn't our first conversation.
No, just,
But anyway, I can't speep for Kevin, because it sounds like you didn't try to call him back, but I did.
Did you
He
call
didn't
my,
know you
did you
were
call my
supposed to
home
call.
phone or here in the county?
no, Lisa transferred me to your recording.
And Lisa would be in my office.
Yeah, Lisa, so she gave him two numbers, 754-2702 and 754-6330, which I think 6330 might be the board's.
That's the main board number,
That's
isn't
the
it?
main board number. So that would have went, I think, to all three. I'm looking back at James to,
Yeah, just check Kevin's greeting is just an automated female voice saying Kevin Goodman is not available. I'm not sure what the overall office one is, I'll have to check that one.
yeah.
So James, put that on your to-do list to help me retrieve my voicemails.
So teach him how to,
Truck- Running truck plows on rock is not something we normally do, so I was just kind of wondering if you could give me the date that happened, because I want to see why we did that.
yeah.
I think it was Ray
I don't like new,
driving his truck.
But do you
Okay.
remember what date? So I can-
4 to 5 weeks ago. Okay, I
Okay,
don't recall the actual day, okay? I
okay,
just,
yeah,
but-
yeah.
And I was really surprised, because normally it's the road grader that goes down, that takes care of the snow for the gravel roads. This time, and this is the first time I've seen one of your dump trucks with the blades.
That's because it's an uncommon event, but anyway.
That's what I kinda thought too.
Yeah.
But you sure kinda make a mess in my front yard off of this.
There's-
Just like, but
And any given year, though, there's multiple properties that do end up with rock. This wasn't a large year for doing that, because usually the problem is if the shoulder is wet and not frozen, and we'll go to blading the snow off, but then with the blade, when it gets into the dirt, you can't even really tell. When it's frozen ground, it stops the blade. but we can, roll up rock, sod, everything if it's not frozen. And I know we've had that trouble quite a bit, but there's been, you can kind of see on this frontage, it's finished, and so you wouldn't lose your mailbox if we would dig in a ditch right there like it needs. It needs a couple foot deep ditch. But, because technically I can drive my truck right in this ditch and then drive right back out because it's just flat. But at any rate, that's the frontage.
Okay.
Been this way for
Yeah.
40 years that the house has been there. I don't see,
We're,
and there's plenty of slope for the water to go from the south end of the property.
it does, but the cross section of the road, if you're looking at it right there, what we need is the water to get off the road and away from the road. So that water, you've had issues where we have it getting soft in front of your place right there, but the water doesn't really, and it just goes right into the ground right there on the lawn in the roadway there.
Well, if you recall, when your guy Donnie took over there, he made kind of a pond there for a while there with the blade.
He was trying to get that edge lip off of there a little bit.
But nevertheless, I've never had a problem with standing water in that front there at all because it goes under the,
Yeah.
and I've always kept the culvert open.
You're kind of at a hilltop, yeah.
Yeah, and so we've never had problem with the water there, so, but the biggest problem is the gravel. This year is particular, every year I rake the gravel out of that front, which is expected, okay? It just, but this year it just got
It's worse.
a lot worse. But don't normally see one of the dump trucks with the snowplow go by. Just, but anyway,
Well, I don't think it'll be normal.
yeah, that's
Let's
good.
hope not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public forum comments?
Well, you probably won't let me talk again, but I've got a comment since the gravel road came up. Paul, I've never seen so much gravel in my ditch as this year. It's terrible. It's absolutely horrible. And the grader went by one day with the wing down, and he was going so fast that I thought, my God, he's going to hit my mailbox. But you know what? He didn't hit my mailbox, but he went by so fast throwing rocks that it blew the door open on my mailbox. There isn't a speck of gravel on my road on 1994 Vine Avenue. And there's just a windrow out there in the ditch. Go out and drive it and look. It's not just my road. Terrible. And one more thing. You talked about over here on Highway 30 and how my 16 houses or whatever it is. I got 31 houses on Vine Avenue. Where's my paved roads?
Okay, we'll move on to adjournment. The next regular session is Wednesday, March 26, 2025 at 9 a.m. Courthouse, first floor meeting room right here. All business to be acted on upon that session should be submitted to the county auditor and recorder's office or the Board of Supervisors office by Wednesday, March 19, 2025 at noon. There being no further business to come before the meeting is adjourned at 10:03.